Hello everyone, today I bring you Scream of the End. Let's begin. The usual stories about Minecraft will always go to Herobrine, about how he lives and he's a lot more than code. But have you ever wondered about the Endermen, and whether there are any secrets about them? Everyone who has played Minecraft is well familiar with them by now, and they can be hard to find in the overworld. Many have visited their home in the end. Of course, they aren't hostile unless you look at them or attack them. For this reason, quite a few people consider them friendly and like them. Personally, I have always found them creepy and killed them whenever I could. They are based off Slenderman after all. Well, being as strong as they are, regular players know that if you run into one right after you spawn, you run for water. For some reason, Notch decided to code them with a fear of water. And whoever thought anything bad could happen with water, right? Well, water is the reason this mess started. I haven't even attempted to start up my game since then. I was playing on my regular world, a server that my friends and I had started. We had plenty of houses built, a seemingly unlimited supply of diamond and gold, and the Ender Dragon was defeated. There really wasn't much to do in the world anymore, so you had to get creative. Me and my friends. We were creative enough, and we understood the game very well. Aaron was our redstone guy. If you needed anything powered, he found a way to build it and make it better than any tutorial could ever tell you. Myself, I made the majority of buildings, and started working on a city. We had a few guys who would work on supplies, planting, and harvesting anything that was needed. Lastly, we had Graham. He did all the magical stuff, potions, enchanting, and he had us build him a mob trap so we could get an outrageous amount of experience whenever he wanted to. Of course, we had the randoms who would join, the occasional troll, and sometimes we'd have someone new join our group as a regular. We all fought the Ender Dragon before. We could do it fairly quick. Aaron and I and a majority of the group would take out the crystals and fight the dragon. Graham, however, would stay underground, working up potions for battle, and have the rest do deliveries. He wasn't too fond of the Enderman either. That's why he made us bring water buckets to the end. He stayed in the middle of the water, where the Enderman couldn't get him. That's where I got my whole idea from. One day, when I had nothing else to do, I decided to get on the server. It had been 2 weeks since the Ender Dragon was beaten, and we really hadn't gone to the end since then. We had a little trap that was set up with torches and sand that would send anyone who walked into the end into the void. It was mostly just to make them panic. Well, I had a great idea of using the end to farm ender pearls. I was planning on using Graham's idea with the buckets in order to do it, but on a massive scale. I had every intention of flooding the end. With the help of an inventory editor and my /fly command, I started. Of course, this was the only time I was using such things, as I made sure our whole server was legit. However, I was the only person on, and I figured everyone would have a good laugh out of the fact that I flooded the home of the Enderman. As I started going, a good portion of the floating island was called home was filling up quickly. You would hear them panic and teleport away every time they would get splashed, and the occasional scream when they decided to go swimming for too long. It was amusing to watch the determination to live a simple computer AI can be given. As the rest of the island started to fill up, they became very crafty on their spawns. Many were going under the island on little ledges. As soon as I saw them, they would be swept away from the water and fall into the void. I kept going until there was a little square in the center, and the obsidian platform I spawned on. They were pushing each other for what a little precious space they had, and one would fall off the platform or into the water every few seconds. I made a few more trips around the island, filling up any spots I missed and finishing off any stragglers that found comfy spots to sit on. One even found a spot buried underground in a 4 tall tunnel. I flooded him out. This all took till about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was happy I was finally able to finish by night's end. After I was sure I filled every dry spot up, I filled the square in the center. Many of the Endermen just swam until you heard the death scream as they fell. While a few of them managed to teleport to the platform, I decided to have a little fun. At first, playing the edges and watching them push each other into the water and off the level. This left only 4. This just compelled me to get it over with and flood the center, which I did, causing 3 of the 4 to fall off the platform. One remaining Enderman stayed, jumping into the center, and slowly, as his health being chipped away, finally he fell to the floor and screamed. It wasn't the normal death scream I had grown accustomed to during my trip. It was glitching, slowed down. Then it would start over, skip, drag out even more. Eventually, the rest of the game took suit, and I was unable to move. The sound repeated itself, as did his body falling to the floor. That is, until Minecraft has run out of memory. Minecraft crashes, and so does Java. As many people do when something like this happens, I started up both the server and Minecraft again. I figured it was just a glitch due to the massive amount of water being placed down and running. The loot that was on the ground from the Enderman dying and such. I put my IP in the multiplayer and clicked connect. Error. World not found. Shit, I thought. As I knew the crash had corrupted the files, luckily I backed up the world right before we fought the dragon. I grabbed my external copy of the files and loaded it right back up. Even though I couldn't fix all that was lost, I figured I'd go back and fight the dragon again before bed. Thanks to Graham, I had armor and weapons with any enchantments possible, as well as potions that would last me years of battle. I get over to the portal, jump down the hole, the end loads up right quickly. However, something is wrong. As I look at the Ender Dragon, I see nothing in the air. The crystals on the tower, but no dragon to feed off them. I notice that the Endermen are gone as well. I get on the island, walk around for a bit, and eventually, I'm hit. I look up to see the crystals are chaining to what I presume to be the dragon. He was invisible, so he just didn't load properly. I save, exit both programs, restart my computer, and get back to it. The dragon is there, but the Endermen are still absent. Easier fight, as I don't worry about looking the wrong direction and having a ward of pissed off Endermen. 20 minutes later, I shoot the last arrow into the dragon as he floats in the air, and the egg drops into the fountain. I run over there so I can get out of the end, but another strange occurrence. The end portal that usually fills the fountain is now the same texture as water. A bucket wouldn't pick it up like normal water, though. It just led me to think my jar file was corrupted, and I hopped in. Eventually, it functions just as the normal end portal would, except I hear the death scream of the Enderman again. Not just once, but over and over and over. The portal finally works, but this isn't what I expected. Black. Then, Minecraft has run out of memory. I reinstall the files, including the world, for another time. The game starts up without a hitch. I get back into the portal and hop in. This time, it's not just the end that awaits me. It seems like an endless room. I can't see, but there's a faint glow around me. I walk forward, thinking it could be the end, and something like a potion of blindness is stopping me from seeing it. The faint globe of light is all I can see, the only source of light in this room as well. The platform doesn't end in a few blocks, though, and it's obsidian. The obsidian continues, shattering all my hopes of being in the end. The obsidian floor keeps going in all directions, so I follow a straight line. I walk, and the sounds start. My footsteps first, but then the sound of blocks being placed. As I go forward, a faint sound of Endermen began and increase. First, just normal grunts. Then, they sounded as if they were agitated, and the sounds become much more frequent. It gets louder, as if there was a whole horde chasing me, but refused to catch me. I start to see the purple pixels as if they are teleporting themselves and me, then it stops. A few seconds and steps later, one comes flying at the screen, and the death scream goes at full volume. This makes me literally jump and let go of the keyboard and mouse. Silence. It doesn't start up again until I move the mouse. One more sound, a light grunt, as if they are letting me know that they are in the darkness, just out of my sight. I go forward again, clicking my mouse, hoping to hit one of them, or a wall, or anything. The pattern starts over, the sounds, the pixels, and the scare. I didn't stop moving though, and neither did they. It continues. Escape, Alt F4. They don't have any functions. Unplugging the computers out of the question, as I refuse to risk my equipment. I keep going, hoping it ends. After 3 minutes of the cycle, it does. I'm teleported one last time, unable to move. The Enderman on the screen stares straight into my eyes. Water surrounds my character, and after 20 seconds, I begin to drown. You are dead in the background, as the Enderman still looks on with his static appearance, not even flinching as much as an inch. 5 seconds later, the computer powers down without warning, and I am left in the dark. The next day, I send my friend the files to the world. They play the game without any flaws. Gone to the end, and even got a few pearls. I refuse to. I don't even have the files on my computer anymore. Did a complete wipe of the hard drive. Minecraft became more than a game that night. It's a lot more simple than AI controlling a few entities. Definitely more than a glitch. These games and entities that form our fears, they do that and much more. It is a lot more than just simple coding now. The Endermen, they do hold a grudge. They have a fear, and it is not something to taunt them with. They are aware, and they will make sure you become well aware of them and their presence. Well, I suppose that is it for now. I hope you enjoyed.